As can be seen across this channel, I'm a firm believer that environmental effects, as in what people benefit from and what people are harmed by in the world around them, play a leading role in determining why people think what they do and behave in the way that they do, and ultimately why the world looks like the way it does. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the environment in the more literal way. I'm going to talk about something in the environment as in the air, the soil, the water, as probably playing an under-considered role in how the world is today. Also, that if it is playing a role, it's almost certainly only going to get worse as time goes on, at least until the relevant factors are no longer on the world stage, on account of probably literally just not being alive anymore. I'm talking about a generation. This time, not baby boomers, but the one that immediately followed it. The generation born from the mid-60s up to the start of the 80s, really just the tip. Generation X, or what we might do well to call them, unfortunately, Generation Lead. Now, it's well attested to fact that the generation born in the aforementioned period has an abnormally high incidence of lead poisoning in childhood onwards, absolutely in the United States, but globally too. They're the unfortunate victims of a world which had grown rich enough to see the mass proliferation of personal automobiles and consumer products in a way that it never had been before, but that mass proliferation also happened to carry a great deal of usage of leaded gasoline and lead paint. Now, eventually, we did get around to the point where we started moving globally away from the use of lead in this manner. For example, removing lead from gasoline. But that didn't happen all at once. Why does this matter? Well, see, the thing is, lead poisoning is a particularly pernicious thing, as there are newer studies linking it directly to impairing cognitive development and leading to behavioral problems like impulsiveness and violence. The lead, once in the bloodstream, does not just get flushed out eventually either, just because you're no longer being poisoned by it actively. It actually gets into people's bones and stays there for life, which gets around to social and presumable political consequences that I will speak about later. Now, I could make this a bit more partisan than it needs to be in relation to American politics and say that while it's generally true that Trump support is higher among older people, there is a curious spike that doesn't align exactly with age amongst those within Generation X. But I don't have to do that. Lead-poisoned behaviors don't have to align with being politically right-wing or Trump-supporting, especially if they are relevant identity factors precluding that possibility. After all, in the United States, the overwhelming majority of African Americans are anti-Trump, yet lead poisoning has an unfortunate correlation with those who grew up in marginalized communities or perhaps developing nations. Now, I did say that this situation has a likelihood of actually getting worse as time goes on, even if lead poisoning is rarer among younger generations. Remember that part where I said that lead has a way of getting into people's bones and staying there for life? Well, as one ages, your bones have a way of breaking down, releasing lead into the bloodstream and applying effects that are harmful to people in the prime of their lives. Never mind those whose bodies have had plenty of miles checked on their biological odometer, meaning that this age cohort can reliably expected to become less intellectual, more impulsive, and violent with age. Feedback looped into natural frustrations one might have with aging, ironically making them less able to entertain those impulses, compounding the issue even further. Ultimately, creating a social block that can be relied upon to take these proclivities with them up and down the chain of social interaction to an ever-worsening degree. It's a topic so big that it's worth its own video, but angry, violent, none too bright people tend to be a gift to the political status quo. Now, I'm not saying that the problems defined here are by any means solely responsible for the political dysfunction around the world right now. But at an absolute minimum, it is an accelerant, if not a brick in its foundation. As for the specific solutions to this problem, I'm not exactly going to attempt to give health recommendations on this channel, but I will say that it can only help to keep this sort of thing in mind when observing the world around you. Also recognize that in much the same way that it is difficult to get someone to understand something whose job is reliant on their not understanding it, it's similarly difficult to get someone to understand something their body is not equipped to understand. A consistent theme on this channel is the importance of recognizing when something or some people are not potential allies to be cultivated, but obstacles to be overcome. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.